Now that we have set up all our forms and we've made it user-friendly, our database, it's important now to really open up the power of what a database is mainly used for. Sure, there's entering data and making it user-friendly and creating relationships, but the next part of this is once we've got data in it, we need to be able to search through our database. And what we call that queries. Now, queries are what I like to call a way in which we ask the database questions about the data that we have. And once you understand how this all works, this is the basis behind a lot of the theory or a lot of the terminology in the HSC. So we have to create a query so that we can understand how it all works. So I'm going to close down the relationships because I have them open, and you can see that I've held down Shift so I get access to my database, and you may be this may have reminded you that that's what you need to do. So I'm going to go to Create, and I'm going to choose a query design. And what happens here is we get this new window opening up here, and it says what table would you like to add to your query. Now I can add all of them, but at the moment I'm just going to add the first one, and we're going to do a couple of things with it. And then so I just click Add because that's been highlighted, and then I choose Close. Now here we have actually what I might do is I might show all the tables because it'll show you the relationships, and there's a reason why I want to show you that. So you can see that it's no different to when you look at a relationship, that there is all the tables are there, or you can see all of the fields. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do this where I'm going to push this up, and usually I'm teaching this in a classroom, so I'll push this up a bit so you can see it a bit better. And I would recommend you full screen this so you can see what I'm doing at the moment. I'm going to add first name. Now there's several ways I can do it. I can hold down my left mouse button and I can drag it into this area, or the easiest way to do this is just double click, and you'll hear me double click and it should add it. It didn't for some reason, but there we go. It double clicks and I get that. Now if I run this, I haven't got any searching. I'm not searching anything, so I'll be able to view all the names that are in my first names of my table. But what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to show you how simple it is to search for something. So I'm going to put in one of the search terms, which is this, and if I click there you'll see that it puts inverted commas there, and if I run that, then of course my result is I've found that. Now, that doesn't really do too much, nothing really exciting on that. There's several ways that I can work with searching. So let's say I do Andrew, and then I do or Connor, because I know there's those two names in my database. So if I do that, then I get these two results, and that's really good. I can even sort it if I want to. Let's say I want to sort ascending, then you can see that I get Andrew and then Connor first, Connor second. I can also do this, where let's say I wanted to do and Connor. I think this will work. I haven't really done it this way. No, I won't do it that way. We can do and, or let's say I don't know the spelling of someone's name, but I do know that they have, say, an R in their name. So what I would do is I use what's known as a wildcard, and if I press Shift and 8, you'll see that this here is actually an asterisk. If you look down in your keyboard now, you'll see if you hold down Shift and press 8, there is an asterisk above that. And if I put R, for example, and then I close that, you'll see that I've got this scenario. And it's a bit hard to see, but it says asterisk R asterisk. Now what that means is that I'm not sure about the spelling of a result in my field, and I think there's letters before the R, and I think there may be letters after the R. So if I take out that, for example, I might have, when I run that, I get Connor, because you can see that there are letters before the R. But if I then go back to my design and I say, right, you'll notice now it fills that part in. If I go this here and I put another one there, and then if I run that, then I've got not only the ones that have an R at the end, but also an R in the word. So that's another way of doing it. And as you can see, if I do it this way, then that means that the answer is going to have R at the start, and I shouldn't get a result, which I don't. So that's the way that works. So an asterisk is what's known as a wildcard, and if I just show you this, wildcard characters represent one or more unknown characters. Some common wildcard characters are asterisks, which I just showed you, which substitutes for any number of characters, and a question mark substitutes for a character. For example, the query last name MA asterisk would find names like Matt, May, Mad, and however, the query Ma question mark would only find such last names as Matt, because it's only got one character at the end, or May. So that's what wildcards are, and I'm going to talk about in the next video relational operators and also logical operators, which I touched on an AND logical operator. So I'm just going to stop this video, and we're going to start a new one on queries. So this one will be called query 1, and it'll have wildcards written in it as well.